If you love drawing portraits in Procreate, then you're gonna love this. I've put together a free bundle that includes 5 of my most popular brushes and stamps from my Portrait Powerpack. In this video, I'll walk you through 5 ways you can use these brushes to add details to your portraits. So you can take a plain looking illustration like this and jazz it up like this. And you can find all of these brushes linked below this video. Once you've imported them, you should see them in your library like this. So let me show you 5 different ways you can use these free brushes to add details. So number 1, add textile patterns to your character's clothing. First thing I'm going to show you is how to add this leopard print to her clothing, which is in your free brushes. And notice how I have my illustration on separate layers. And this is really important if you want to change the colors of parts of your illustration or if you want to use clipping masks. So I'm going to add a clipping mask to this. So I'm going to find the clothes. I'm going to add a new layer above, and then I'm going to go clipping mask. I'll make sure that I have my leopard print brush, and I'm just going to slowly fill that. And you can see that everything I'm creating on that layer is just confined to the layer below, so just that shape. And I'm just going to add that to her scarf as well. So this is a really quick way for you to add patterns to your clothing. So if you want to play around with the scale, so at the moment my pattern is set to quite small, I'm just going to go up to my brush, click on it, and then go to settings. And this is where I can play around with the grain. So if you head up to grain here, and I can bring that scale up. So this is going to edit the size of the pattern within. So if I just test that now, that's a little bit bigger, and then just done. I'll just click with 2 fingers to go back, make sure that I'm still on that layer, and I'm just going to do the same again. And now you can notice my pattern is a lot bigger. So this is just a fun way for you to play around with the scale of the pattern. If you want 19 more patterns to choose from, be sure to check out my Portrait Powerpack for more. There are so many different repeat patterns to choose from in this pack, and what I love about these patterns is how versatile they are. So you can use them for your backgrounds and also your character's clothing. So tip number 2 is give your portraits personality with different sunglasses. So I'll just click here, and I'm going to bring in a pink just to contrast with her skin. Just zoom in, and I'm just going to test the size of that brush and make sure that I'm on a separate layer above everything. So I'll just create a new layer, and I'm just going to tap and move that across like this. So you can change the size of your sunglasses this way, and in order for it not to distort, just make sure you have uniform and snapping on, and this is just going to snap that into place. I don't want to distort it too much because the bigger I make that, the more blurry and pixelated my stamp brush will be. So you want to try and edit it using this scale here. So I'm just going to delete that and show you again. So if I move this down, of course, my glasses are going to be really small. So I'm just going to bring that up. Bring that around, and that's looking pretty good, and I can just slightly edit that by bringing it around like that. Okay, so I have my glasses done, and what I'm going to do is create a new layer underneath with the same color. I'm just going to use the hair strands for this. I'm just going to fill in these lenses like this. Just drag and drop that color, and because it's on a separate layer, I'm just going to bring that down, and this is just going to make the sunglasses look more like glasses, so it will give the illusion that it's glass. And I'll bring that down to around 40%. If you enjoyed using this stamp brush, then I have 21 different styles of sunglasses and glasses to choose from in my Portrait Powerpack. These brushes come in so many styles and you can customize them using some of the pattern brushes from the pack as well. Tip number 3, create different moods using eyebrow stamps. We're now going to start playing around with the eyebrows. So I'll just pick a black. Again, create a new layer on top. I'm just going to bring that underneath the sunglasses. I'm just going to tap. Now you can see that this is really big. So again, we just play around with the size and I think that seems good. I'll just tap and position that like so. And then I'm just going to duplicate that, go to the arrow here and flip horizontal. And I'll just bring that eyebrow over to the other side. And for you to see it a little bit better, I'm just going to hide those glasses. And you can see that I have some really symmetrical looking eyebrows. And these stamp brushes are just a really great way for you to speed up your workflow so you're not having to draw eyebrows over and over again. And I'll just bring those glasses back. If you're anything like me and hate drawing eyebrows, then check out my Portrait Powerpack for 24 more eyebrow stamps just like these. You can either mix and match to create different expressions, or you can use them to just speed up your workflow. Tip number 4, add realistic details to your character's hair. I'll also use the hair strands for just adding a few flyaway hairs. I really like to make my characters look organic, and this is a great brush to use for that. So I'll just create a new layer again. I'm still on that black. I'm just going to zoom in and just start adding some really loose hairs around her afro. And you can use this brush for really long, flowy brush strokes like this. So this brush is pressure sensitive. So if you lean quite heavy and then tail off, you're going to get these really beautiful looking organic lines that are perfect for those flyaway hairs. So I'm just going to add just a few because she's got quite a few already. And that's looking pretty good. This brush is part of my Portrait Essential bundle, where I have 14 other sketching and inking brushes designed specifically for adding dreamy, realistic details for your portraits. Tip number 5 is tie your character in with the background. So adding things in the background is a really good way to tie your character in with that background. So I'm just going to create a new layer. I'm going to go over to a cream now. And again, I'm just going to test that size. So I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. And then I can just kind of move that up to position it that way. And then I'm going to add maybe another one here. And I'm going to create a new layer now because what I want to do is repeat that cloud, but I want to flip it. And that's because I want this cloud to look a little bit different, so it's not looking repeated every time. So I'm going to tap, go up to the arrow, flip horizontal, and that way I have a completely different cloud now. So that's a little hack when you're working with these stamp brushes. So I'm going to add that about here. And maybe have one more just kind of overlapping her hair there as well. And I want to add a few in the background, so I'm just going to go down, add a new layer, just bring that below everything that I've created. I'm just going to tap to fill some of those other spaces like so. And there you go. In a few simple steps, I was able to jazz up my character using a few of these stamp brushes. If you enjoyed using these brushes, you're going to love my Portrait Powerpack brush bundle, where I have over 100 brushes and stamps just like this. This brush pack has everything you need to create awesome digital portraits just like these. So if you've downloaded my 5 free brushes, I can't wait to see how you use them in your own work. Remember, you can download your free brushes below this video, and if you want to grab the full collection, you can find them below this video too. And don't forget to tag me over on Instagram at Charlie Clements so I can see your amazing work.